When people talk about MVPs, minimum viable products, they usually focus on the word minimum. So they build like a scrappy little prototype, duct tape and hope, that sort of thing. The kind of thing that you can hack together in a weekend and throw on Product Hunt. But that's actually the wrong way to think about MVPs. Because most MVPs kind of suck. They suck not because they're small or because they're simple or because they're ugly, but because they don't actually validate anything. MVPs are just watered down versions of a grand vision slapped together and launched into a void without a clear hypothesis or a goal. MVPs are often built for the builders themselves, and they're not built for what they should be built for, which is learning. And if you're serious about shipping software that really matters, especially as a solo founder or an indie hacker, then you really have to rewire your brain and think about MVPs. Let me tell you a story. Back in 2010, there was a startup called Bourbon. It was spelled like this, B-U-B-R-N. It was a mobile check-in app, kind of like Foursquare. You could tag your location, you could leave messages, and you could earn points. And it was loaded with features, probably too many features, and it was going absolutely nowhere. But the team behind it, someone called Kevin Systrom and Mike Krieger, they noticed something. They noticed that users actually weren't using the check-in feature very much, and they weren't even using the messaging or any of the gamification stuff they put into it. Users were just uploading photos. So they made a really bold move. They stripped the app down to its bare essence, they ditched every single feature except for the photo sharing, and then they added photo filters, a feed, and a like button. And then they renamed it to Instagram. And that's what a good MVP is. A good MVP is not a tiny version of a big idea, but it's a focused test of a risky assumption. In their case, the assumption was, do people want a dead simple way to share cool looking photos? Turns out, yes, 100 million users later, Facebook bought Instagram for $1 billion. Now, am I saying your MVP is going to get you acquired by Meta? Probably not. But if you want to have a chance of real traction, then you need to stop thinking like a developer and start thinking like a scientist. Your MVP is your little science experiment. It's not there to impress users, it's there to learn from users. To answer questions like, do people actually care about this problem? Will they pay for a solution to this? Are they already solving this in some other way? And that's why when people say just build an MVP, I really cringe at that, because most of the time what they're really saying is just ship something, just anything and see what sticks. But throwing spaghetti at the wall isn't a strategy, it's just procrastination really. So how do you do it right? Well, the first thing is to figure out what your riskiest assumption is. So if you're building a product that helps freelancers get paid faster, then what's the assumption there? The assumption is that they want that and that they'll trust you with their bank information and that they'll switch from a clunky tool that they're already using. So the MVP exists to test those assumptions and nothing else. If your MVP doesn't validate or invalidate some kind of core risk, then you're just wasting time with it. The next step after validating your assumptions is to design for signal and not scale. So what that means is don't waste time worrying about like login flows and fancy dashboards and all that sort of stuff. Your goal isn't to build infrastructure. Your goal is to provoke some behavior from your users. So does this solve the whole problem at once for one user in a way that really makes them say, wow, I really need this? That's why so many successful MVPs are just spreadsheets or landing pages or even just email threads, because a good MVP isn't defined by how much code you wrote and how much product you built. It's defined by how much certainty you gained that this is actually solving a real problem. I'll give you a more recent example. Superhuman, which is an email client, that didn't start with a full-featured app. The founder, Rahul Vohra, literally onboarded every single early user himself with a manual process that looked more like a concierge service than an actual product. But he did that because he was trying to answer one question. Would people pay for a premium, keyboard-driven email experience? If the answer was no, then there was no point building out the rest of that product. The onboarding process later became their growth engine, but it started as an MVP without a decent onboarding process. And this is the third piece you need to get into. Get really ruthless about scope. If you think your MVP needs authentication or a Stripe integration or admin dashboards or a mobile app, then stop. You're overbuilding it. You're trying to validate a whole company and not an idea. An MVP is not a validation for a business model. It's just a validation for an idea for a product. So ask yourself, what's the fastest path to learning what I need to learn about this problem? Sometimes the answer isn't even software. Sometimes it's a Notion document or a Notion template or Figma prototype or a Calendly link so they can talk to you. Dropbox started with a video. They didn't have a product, they just had a video, a demo landing page that they collected emails from. That video validated demand, and that demand got them funding, and that funding allowed them to build the proper product. So you can see where I'm going with this, right? MVPs that don't suck are focused, they're humble, and they're cheap, and they're designed to get actual answers from your users. They're not designed to be amazing and everyone loves them. They're designed to solve a problem and get answers about that problem that you've assumed. And doing this requires something that a lot of engineers, me included, can really struggle with. You have to be willing to build the wrong thing on purpose just to learn what the right thing might actually be. You have to be okay launching something ugly or launching something incomplete, which really hate doing, but you have to do it. You have to be willing to launch something that's a bit embarrassing, and you have to be able to talk to users, which is often the bit that people are trying to skip by building all these features out, but you need to do that. So if you're sitting on an idea right now for a product and you're wondering what to build first, then ask yourself this question: what do I need to know that I don't know yet? And then build just enough to be able to find out the answer to that question. Because the truth is, the MVP isn't the start of your product, it's the start of your education about your users. And if you get the education part right, then everything else becomes a whole load easier. So I hope you found this video useful. Find more videos on my channel. My name's James, and I'll see you in this video on your screen right now.